Okay, so let's get started here. We're going to talk a little bit about Dreamweaver Interface Basics, okay? So you also go to your classroom. There is tutorials in your classroom, and I also have a 7-step tutorial that will help you with your project. You need to go through that tutorial, and that will help you too. I have YouTube videos, so go ahead and do that. And I also have all the stuff that you need to do this Bay State project that I have here, Bay State Beat. So you need to go ahead and do that before you get started in this class. So we're going to talk a little bit about Dreamweaver. You're going to use Dreamweaver Cloud. Please, no other version of Dreamweaver. Do not use Dreamweaver 6. Your school allows you to download the Adobe programs. You get the Adobe Creative Suite free for 1 year. If you've already had the program free for a year, then you need to contact the school and get another year subscription for Dreamweaver so that you can work with this class. Okay, it's very important that you do this. No other program, please. I have a Mac. Some of you are using PCs. I don't want to be opening up a million programs on my computer that will not open up because I have a Mac and you have a PC. This program to use for this program is Dreamweaver, the cloud version only. You can use the first version, the second version, the third version, the last version. It doesn't matter. It just has to be the cloud version. Okay, so the main reason why we use Dreamweaver is because it is an Adobe program, and it's also one of those kind of programs that what you see is what you get. So that allows you to be able to see your work as you're working on your code, which is a nice addition to the program. So it also supports ASP, PHP, Code Fusion, and JavaScript. So it's a nice program that you can use to interface with a lot of other programs. It is very simple to use, and it's Power Pack interface. So you need to use this program and no other programs. Please don't email me and say, I want to use this program, I want to do that, I want to do this, because I'm not going to accept it. I just want Dreamweaver Cloud. I'm going to be very strict about that because in previous classes that I've taught, I've had very difficult time trying to review students' work because I have a Mac and they have a PC and they're using only PC version programs, and you just can't, I just can't do that. So just please use Dreamweaver Cloud. If you never used the program before, it's a new program to learn, and it's great to learn as many new programs as you can because it makes you more versatile. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is you can set this program up. I have this set up to Mary. Alright, so you can actually set up over here when you first open it up, and you can set it up to be beginner, code, default, design, exact. You can give it a new name, whatever you want. So I'm just set mine up to Mary. You can also view it as code, split, or just basically design. I keep mine as split so that I can look at my code, make sure my code is correct as I'm looking at my design. It's not always going to look exactly the way it's going to appear. You have to keep reviewing it as you're working on it. We're just going to keep it as split. You can go up to view. If you go up to view, then you can change this. You can put your view on the left, switch it around. You can put it up. You can put it up on the top, but you can put it on the side. You can do it any way that you want. You can actually split your code if you want. You can just set design up here. Whatever way you want, you can. The best way to learn this program is just to open it up and start working with it. So once you get your personalize your workspace, the next thing you need to do is set up your site. Now this site is already set up, as you can see. Now if I was going to actually set up my site, I would make a new folder, and I would give my folder a name, whatever you want to give it. And I'm going to just show you how to actually start this. I'm going to go File, New. I'm going to keep this at none. I'm going to make this an HTML5. Please make sure that your project is an HTML5. And then I'm going to hit Create. Okay, so there's really nothing in this file. We've gone through HTML a little bit, so you know that everything has to fall in between the body tag, which is right here. Everything that's in your site has to fall in between the body tag. So I'm going to go up to Site, and I'm going to select New Site. And I give my site a name different from my folder. And I'm going to go out to my desktop, which is where this folder is. And I'm going to find my folder, and I'm going to hit Choose. And I'm just going to hit Save. So all you'll see in there is just the folder. So you can also create a, I just personally rather do it right here. I can create another new folder, and I can call it Images. I can create another new folder, and I can call it Videos. Okay, I'm going to keep my HTMLs right out here, because I think it's just much easier that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to save my first page, File, Save As. Your first page in your site always has to be indexed. And then hit Save. And you're going to see this go right into your folder. So you need to have your files open up. You need to go up to the top where it says Window. I have my Insert open up, which is this right here, which has all my different components in my site. Okay. So we can make all your different navigation, setups for your divs for your site. We'll get into that in a little bit. Then you want to make sure that you have your properties panel open up. So anything that you select and you're working on, you will see in your properties panel down here. You want to make sure you have your files open up, which is this right here that shows you all your files in your site. So you can even open up your images, and you can place images into your site. You need to have your assets open up, which if I go back, I'll open it up again. Your asset file, I'll show you on the file that I have already opened up. If you look in the assets, you'll see all your images, and you need to have your CSS designer open up. So I am going to go ahead and just close this site and go back to this site, because now you can see everything in here. So this is the Bay State Beat site that I've been working on, that I made the 7-piece tutorial for you, so you can go through that and see how to actually set this site up step by step. This will definitely help you work on your site. So your properties panel down here can be, you can select HTML, and you can also select the CSS. So you see that I have some already have some CSS rules in here. You can edit your rules here. You can select CSS designer, which is already opened up here. Okay, you can also work on your fonts. We're going to go through all that stuff step by step. You can also set up your tables here. If I went ahead and I go back to this one, you're not going to use tables for this project. I just want to show you how to do this. Okay, so if I insert, I'll go down and insert a table. Tables do not work well when people use readers, that are virtually, they're blind and they need to use readers. Tables do not read well. That really confuses them when they go to a site, so it's best to stay away from tables as much as possible. But I just want to show you that if you use them from some tablet information, you may want to use a table at times in your site. So I'm just going to show you that if I select the table right here, that it's going to show the table down here on your site. I just have to select it. And you can also adjust the rows and columns and the table width, and also set the cell padding, the cell space, and how you want to align in the borders. So now I'm going to just go back to this file again. Now if I select page properties here, now remember, if you set your page properties here this way, in your site, then this is going to be what is going to depict your site, regardless of the cascading style sheets that you place in it. So I'm just going to show you this, but I'm just going to tell you that it's best to stay away from this. The reason why it's showing you this already is because I already have a cascading style sheet attached to this file. So if I actually went in here and changed things in here, then it will change my links, my visiting links, and this will be what I will be in my site regardless of what I have attached in my cascading style sheets. Okay, so it's just showing you a little bit. You can actually see, you know, what I have in my site right now. So I'm just going to cancel out. I just want to let you know that. Okay, so if I go up to insert and I select HTML, and you notice there's just a lot of stuff in here. Okay, so I'm just going to go down to common and keywords. HTML and keywords. It used to be common, now it's just keywords, and I'm going to select that. And you can place some keywords for this site, you know, so whatever you you want to attract your users to this site, you know, depending on, you know, what the site is about. You know, it could be sightseeing, eating out, you know, San Francisco. You can just go on and on and on and on. So whatever you want to put in for keywords, you can just list tons and tons of keywords and then hit OK. And you'll see that these keywords would actually go up in here where it says meta name equals keywords content. So these are not things, you can also write them right in here. You can just add more keywords just right in here. Okay, you don't even have to go ahead and open it by doing the insert the HTML. You can just place all kinds of keywords. So this just keys in the browser to tell them that to anytime somebody types in these words, that it's going to try to go to your site. So it's important to really think about keywords. You know, I do for my students at the University of New Haven, I do an organic tea site that we work on. So I put things in like herbal tea, tea kettles, tea bags, specialty tea, teacups, gourmet tea, black tea, etc., etc. So the same thing with this site. What your newspaper site, you're going to put in specific words that will kind of drive your user to your site. So okay, so now I may want to add some text to my file. All right, so I'm just going to close these up here. All my images and stuff. I'm going back to my base date beat file, and I'm going to go through this step by step too. In that 7-page tutorial, this is just to give you a little bit of idea how to work around with this program. So I already have this file open up, which has my text. So I'm just going to kind of copy and paste my text into my file. So the very first one that I have done here is my heading, where it says be where it's at, and that is right here. Now if I go back to my file, I see that this is, if I look at my formatting here, that this is a heading 2. I have this set as a heading 2. This is set as a heading 1. Now you can depict the size of your headings, and you can do that in cascading styles. So I'm just going to go ahead and select, I'm going to go down to the paragraph section here, and I'm going to just select paragraph. Okay, so you can see the paragraph here, and what I did is, all I did was just copy and paste. So if I selected this text right here, I just edit copy, you can just copy it, and I brought it over in here, and then I just edit paste. So if I go up to edit paste up here, it will just automatically paste it into my file. I already have it in there once, but I pasted it in there twice so that you can just get an idea of how to do this. If I'm doing this from Words, it will actually ask you to edit in special paste if you're copying it from a Word instead of from a text program like I did for this file. If you do that, then you can actually bring some of the structure into Dreamweaver from Words. Words is actually a pretty good program. It will pop up and say paste special, and then you can select text with structure. So that would be the paragraph, lists, tables, etc. So like I said, with headings, if you go through your HTML that I had done for you in a class, headings go from H1 to H6, where H6 is the smallest and H1 is the largest. So you have to select your headings that you want. So if I wanted this to be H2, I would just have to go down here and select it as H2. And then I would have my styles already created to depict the style that I want for this heading. So you can also go up to Windows and you go to Insert, and you can do some preset styles. If you just have to scroll down and find the preset styles that are in your program here. So I can go up to Insert, and you'll see that you can select unordered list, ordered list, list items, hyperlink. You could also go to Format, and you can select paragraph format here. You can select your headings here. You can also select your list here, unordered list, order list, and also HTML style. So you can select bold, italic, and underline, and strike through. And you can also attach a style sheet directly from here. So this program is a really big program, and it's just kind of get used to the interface. So the next thing we're going to talk about is how to create your first style sheet. Okay, so I'm going to show you on this file because there's less information on it, kind of easier to understand. So the first thing you have to do is have your CSS Designer open up. So just go to Window and select that. Just go to CSS Designer. So we're just going to make a couple of little styles. It's pretty easy to do. So the first thing you need to do is actually create a style sheet. So I'm going to select Source here up on the top, and then I'm going to hit plus. And before I even attach a style sheet, what I did in my folder is I actually created a folder called Styles. And you see I already have a style in there for my Bay State Beat file. I'm not going to name this main. Again, I'm going to name this main 2. But when you work on your file, you should always name your primary style sheet as main. You can have as many style sheets as you want, but I'm just going to call this this one main 2. So I'm going to select right here where it says positive. I'm going to create a new style sheet. But before I continue to do this, you'll notice that there is other areas that you can do. You can actually attach a style sheet if you want, or you can define just in the page. Okay, so you can actually just create HTML styles and just have them right over here in the page, or you can attach one. So I'm going to actually create a style sheet. And remember, there are 3 kinds of CSS styles. There's internal styles, and these are the styles that live inside your web page, and that's where you can define in the page, and is located within the styles tag. So to obtain the styles tag, you select the plus sign in the source selection and choose define in page. So if I was to define it in the page, I would just select this right here, and then it will define all my styles will live right into my page. And then again, I told you the external style sheet is the one that you attach. And then the inline styles are the ones that live within the HTML tags, and those are the ones that you create in the properties panel. When you go to let me just select here, let me just select some text or something, the body. If I select page properties and I create styles this way, then these are my inline styles. So like I said, you have to be very careful, because if you create inline styles that live inside the HTML tag, these are always going to be the styles that are going to show up on your page. You have to actually go back physically and change them here for them to change on your page. So I'm just going to cancel this for a minute, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to select source again, and I'm going to actually create a new CSS style. So before I even name it or anything, I'm just going to browse, because I want it to go into my style sheet. You want it to go into this folder that says styles. So I'm just going to call this main 2, and I'm going to hit save. You can't see this because it's too big. Let me just bring this up a little bit. There you go. So I'm going to hit save. Okay, so it's going to link into my folder, and I'm going to hit OK. So now I have a new style that's called, I'm just going to scroll this down. It's called main 2. You know, make sure that your style is selected inside this box here. If I have this selected, then I'm not, whatever style I put on it is going to go into the styles and the right in here inside the program. So I want to have this attached to my main, to an external style sheet called main 2. Okay, so if I just select the plus sign and I put in H1 and then I hit enter, you'll notice that it opens up over onto another dialog box. If you don't see this, then maybe you just need to open it up a little bit. Okay, so now you can select your margin, you can select your padding, you can select positioning, you can select color for the font. So if I select here and maybe choose the color red, hit enter, I can choose my font family. I can choose one of these font families. For this, I can just choose Gill Sand, or I can manage my fonts. If I select that, then I can actually choose a specified font family that I want to show up in my file. Done. Okay. And I'm just going to keep it for this. I'm just going to keep it at Gill Sand. I can select the style if I want, or just keep it normal. I can select a weight. I can make this font very heavy. Okay, I can select a font size. So it depends on how you like to work. I like to use points. I'm just very comfortable with points. And since this is an H1, I'm going to put this one pretty large. I'm going to make it 24. Okay, so there's other things that you can put. I'm going to align my text to the left. You could also put a line in. If this was a paragraph, you would want to do that. You can have all different kinds of things that you can do to your font that you cannot necessarily do if you're just working right straight from the program. So as a as cascading styles just allows you just tons and tons and tons of stuff that you can do to your text and also to your images and stuff. So now that you have your H1 all set and that's the way you want it, then you can go ahead and just let me put a heading, and I'm going to go down here and I am going to select H1. So I go back to my base side beat file, and I'm going to take a look at this file and see how many styles I have in here. If I scroll down, you can see all the styles that are in here, all the different styles. When you go through the tutorial, you'll be making all these styles yourself. And there's actually an H1 here. But when you look at the file here, you don't really see the styles of the text until you file and preview. So if you go up to the top and you go file, preview, and browser, you choose the browser that you want. Any one of these is fine that I have, and then you can I already have done this, and you can see now, you can see your images, your text, and you can see how it looks in the browser. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about links. So linking files and documents. Before creating a link, you got to make sure you understand how absolute, document relative, and site root relative paths work. So you can create several types of links in a document. A link to another document or to a file such as a graphic, movie, PDF, or sound file. So you can easily do that in Dreamweaver. You can use an anchor link which jumps to a specific location in a document. You can use an email link which creates a new blank email message with the recipient's address already filled in. Null and script links, which you use to attach behaviors to an object or to create a link that executes a JavaScript code. So you can use the property inspector and the point to file icon to create links from an image, an object, or text to another document in the file. So if you're going to link your text, for example, let's just see what we have here in this file. So this file is a link right here, this Word file. If I select this file right here, you're going to see that what I did down here in my properties panel is just simply place in the URL that I want to link to the file. It's very easy and simple to do. you just copy and paste and put in the URL link, but you first have to highlight your text. So all you have to do is just highlight the text, whatever text you want to link. Okay, so we're going to link that text. Whatever you select over here is going to select here, okay, because this is your file. This is your HTML over on this side, and this is the preview of your HTML. So that's very easy to link it there. Now, if I wanted to link my text to a page in the site, I can just select this. I actually don't have another page in the site, but if I wanted to, I could just select this and do the point. I can actually even drag my image. Let me go back to the just select the text, and you can just use this little pointer. See the point to file right here? I can just actually drag this, and instead of linking it to the to another site, I can link it to a page in my site. It's very easily done. So you can do the same thing with an image. If I want to link my image, very simply can do that just by selecting the image. I can select this image here, and I can just do this. I can either put the URL right in here, you know, copy and paste and place it in here, or I can do this. I can link it to a file in my page. So very easily you can link your images to files in your page, or you can place in a URL. It just depends upon what you want to do. So if you want to create a hyperlink, all you have to do is just select the text. Let's just select this for example, and insert a hyperlink. You just have to go down and find hyperlink, which is right here, and then you can just place the link here. You can either go out and find a file in your folder, or you can place the URL. So let's talk a little bit about target right here. You see that you have blank, new, parent, self, and top. So what exactly does each one of these mean? So blank, if you just leave it blank, you don't put anything in it, then it loads the link file into a new unnamed browser window. So if you choose parent, which is right down here, it loads the link file into the parent frame set or window of the frame that contains the link. If the frame containing the link is not nested, the link file loads into the full browser window. Now if you select self here, then the self loads the link file into the same frame or window as the link. For example, if I selected self, it's not going to go out to another file. It's actually just going to show another page. The target is the default, so you usually don't need to specify it. Now if you choose top, the top loads the link file into the full browser window, thereby removing all the frames. Now if you select new, then obviously it's going to open up into a new file. So those are just things that you need to keep in mind as you're working on your page and you're creating your online newspaper site. So we also have to talk a little bit about colors. I can actually show you here. If we go out and we select link here, then you could actually see the colors. Okay, so we already did this. We specified this as a cascading style sheet, but if I specify it as right into the file as an inline style, I can do that right here. So the link color, the first one, signifies unvisited hyperlink. So the link seen when not clicked. So this is what you're going to see when you first come out to the page, as you see here. Then the visited link signifies that the hyperlink has been visited. So there's not really too much of a difference in color, but you can make it uniquely different if you want to. And then the rollover link signifies the user's mouse point moving over it. The active link is not actually, it won't actually show the color. It just signifies an element on which the user is currently clicking. So you can select underline or never underline if you make this into an inline style. So I'm just going to go out here. So when you create this in as CSS links, you have to specify, you know, your link visited, Hoover, and active. And I go through this in the tutorial and show you exactly how to set this up. So make sure you do my tutorial before you start working on your project. So you can also create an hyperlink for an email. Let me just make believe that I'm going to make this into an email, so I can insert, and I can just scroll down and find email, and it's right here. Yeah, sometimes as they change these things around, sometimes it's hard for me to find them where they put things. So they've actually put this into HTML. It seems like a lot of things are now, instead of being on the front where it says insert, where it used to be, now you have to scroll it down to HTML, and there it is. You can also select hyperlink there too. And here's the email link right down here. So I can just place in the email address, which could possibly be mine. And then I hit OK. So when I preview this, then I got to go to File, Preview. So here we are. Now if I select this, then it's going to open up to my mail. I'm going to close it back off. Okay, so inserting images is actually pretty easy. So as a student, you can use any image online on a line source if your site is for educational purposes and not placed online as a live site. You can place it as a student live site, but you can't use it images that you import and use it for any kind of site that you're going to get paid for. So you have to keep that in mind. If you decide to place your site online, all the images you use from other sources, you have to credit them. So in other words, if you place in images and you place this site online as a student, you should credit the images. And that's real important because, you know, you never know who's going to see the site, who's going to come back at you. You just have to be very careful about this. If you want to use your site for purposes not related to school, you cannot use images that you find online without permission from the original owner. So in other words, if I was actually had created this site here to make some money on it, and I had got images on, off from the internet, then I would have to actually go to the original owner to get permission to use these. And a lot of them are going to make you pay for it. So you can use images that you purchase from sites such as Getty.com without permission from the owner. So if you go to sites like there's a lot of sites that you can go to besides Getty.com that you can go and you can buy images and use for your own purposes and for your clients' purposes. But these can be very expensive. So it's best to take your own images or have a photographer take images. So some things you should know about images that you're using. You can only use JPEGs, PNGs, and GIF images to place inside a website. You cannot place in a Photoshop file, an Illustrator file, a TIFF file, or a PDF file. Images have to be saved at a resolution of 72 and no larger. So it is best to resize your images that fit your site than to place in images that are too small or too large in your website. So in other words, this is the original size of the image. It is better to place this image in at the correct size than it is to resize it. In other words, instead of taking it and just making it smaller or making it larger, I'm just going to edit undo. I just bring my images in all at the correct size. This is the correct size and this is the correct size. So when you insert your images, you can click anywhere you want to place your image and just insert image. So if I was going to insert an image, say I wanted to put an image here, I would just go up to the top and go insert image and go out and find the image. Double click the image folder and place in an image. You could also do that from a point over here. So if you go over here and I open up my image folder, I can actually take my image and drag it in here. And I'm going to undo this. Okay. So you name your image. You must name your images that whenever you place an image in, so that the readers, for those people that have difficulty in seeing and hearing, believe it or not, you need to name all your images, and so that a relative path can be formed. All images should be stored in your image folder. That goes without saying. If you have images that you're going to use on, place into your site, they all need to be inside your image folder. Otherwise, there is no possible way that when you put your site online, that it's going to find those images. There's no possible way that I'm going to be able to find those images. Okay, so they do have some editing in this program as far as modifying images and cropping them and resizing them, brightness and contrast. I really believe it's better not to do that in this program. It's better to do that in a program like Fireworks or Photoshop. But I'll show you how you can do it. If I just select the image, I go up to Modify, and you'll notice here that there is a section called Image. So you can optimize the image. If I select that, let's see what happens. So you can optimize the image as a JPEG, so you can make it bigger or smaller. If I go up to Modify Image, and I can open up the original program that it came in, I can crop it. I'm going to just hit OK. I'm going to undo. Oops. So now it's not letting me do anything. Well, anyway, you can crop it. You can select brightness, contrast, or sharpen. But as far as I'm concerned, it's better just to do that right in the original program that you had first brought the image in. Okay? So optimizing images, like I said, is best done in a program such as Fireworks. Fireworks is a great program to use to optimize all your images. But you can optimize in this program Pongs, JPEGs, and GIFs. Like I said, again, it's better just to do the original program. So we talked about linking images. Very simple and easy to do. So you can also create what is called hotspots. If I select this image, but a lot of browsers don't recognize hotspots, but it is fun to play around with, and you can do it. So if I select, let's say I select this little circle in a property bar, you first have to select the image. I'm going to select this image, and then these are the hotspot maps right here, and I can create a hotspot. Maybe I just want this section to be a link, and all I have to do is just place in the URL, or I can do the point. You grab the files. I can, if I want just to link to another page in the site, I can just select here and just go over there and select the page. Okay. And then once I do that, I also have to put the target, whether I want it to go on top, self, parent, new, or blank. Okay, so this is it for the introduction section. The next section is going to be on Dreamweaver and cascading style sheets. I'm going to go through some theory with you because it's really important to understand theory before you actually start working on this. You need to understand what is cascading style sheets, and you understand the different kinds of styles that you can create in Dreamweaver. Okay, so I'm going to stop here,